Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Last night, Nebraska Volleyball swept the 12th-ranked Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Tomorrow night, the Huskers continue play on the West Coast as they play the Washington Huskies. That game will start at 9:30. Pre-game coverage with John Baylor and Lauren Cook West will start at 8:30 right here on the HRN. The third-ranked Nebraska wrestling team is hosting their opening match of the year as they play Utah Valley. That meet is currently underway. This Sunday, the 13th-ranked Husker rifle team will host their first home match of the season against the 15th-ranked UTEP Miners. State volleyball continues in Lincoln as we're now into the semifinals of the tournament at PBA. Tomorrow, the championship games will be played at the Devaney Center. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Now get ready for 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Raiola turns, fakes the handoff, looks a little fade route to the back corner of the end zone, passes up, and it's caught. It is a touchdown, Nebraska. Isaiah Nair pulls one in, and the Huskers have 6 points.
Set to the back row, Franklin swings, unbelievable dig, Laney Showboy. Nebraska bumps it to the left, Taylor Landfair roll shot, and it falls. Nebraska's up 18-15. Landfair's finest hour as a Husker. Tonight, Taylor Landfair, 10 kills and 6 errors, and the Huskers are up 18-15 in the third.
Defensive rebound by Wooster, brings it across the timeline. Defender on his back all the way to the rim. Nope, circles back out, kicks to Esigian, free ball. Got it! Connor Esigian with his third three. It's 72-65.
Bojan with the active hands. Ahead it comes. Britt Prince on the deep left wing, tracks down the loose ball. Bojan not guarded. Her three-pointer. You betcha! The first Central Valley Egg 3 of the year goes to Petra Bojan, and now Nebraska has hit a three-pointer in 500 straight games.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Woohoo! It's a Friday show, Sports Nightly. Hey, you made it to another weekend, and it's a bye weekend for Husker football, but there is a lot of Husker sporting events going on this weekend. We're going to cover all of that in the coming 2 hours. And Jess, I have an assignment for you.
Okay.
I need you to track Husker wrestling.
I am on it. I'm on it. Good start already to the match.
Yeah.
Antrell Taylor, they started at 157, and he's up 9-2 already in the second period. So,
whoa,
good start there for him.
Maybe headed for a major decision out there for the first
also,
match. So
I don't even know what day it is.
Right.
I mean, this whole week has been off for me, and we haven't had a Friday show in I don't know how long. I don't know.
Been a while.
Just all feels a little off. But here we are, a Friday party show, and we got a lot of good stuff ahead.
We sure do. We're going to do some picks here in a little bit. The big dog and Josh are going to join us and make some picks. Next hour, we'll replay some of the Sideline Slice with Searles that is out. The full podcast is out. We'll play a snippet of that. We're going to do a little whip around with some of our broadcasters, John Bader, Matt Coatney, Kent Pavelka, previewing all the games that they're going to be describing tomorrow. It's a full day in our studio tomorrow. The Husker women play at 1 o'clock at PBA against Southeastern Louisiana. The men play at 7 against Bethune-Cookman. And then volleyball at 9:30 tomorrow night out in Seattle against Washington. 20 in a row, Jessica. 20 straight wins for John Cook's Huskers. They dominate 12th-ranked Oregon last night with another sweep. This team is just playing at such a high level.
They are, and I just keep going back to as good as they've been, they still are quick to point out things they could be better at, which is what is like the scariest, I think, part of this team, or not scary, but for opposing teams, the scariest is that they are still, and I think that's how they're keeping them motivated and hungry, and because they're so competitive that, you know, even though they're sweeping teams, they're competing against themselves. Okay, how can we even better that? And I mean, they are on a mission. How many of those 20 wins are sweeps? Do we know?
I'd have to go back and look. Yeah, we would know. It's a pretty high number. I think the Purdue match is in there where they didn't sweep. That went 5.
It'd be easier to count the ones that were not sweeps.
Correct. I mean, it has just been an unbelievable run. And anytime you think, okay, we're going to Madison, this will be a battle, they sweep. You go, okay, we're going to Eugene. They play the fast offense. And I heard Lauren with you last night, and she was nervous as all get out. They go, we sweep. So it's just remarkable what they're doing right now. They just look like they're on another level with what they're playing right now.
Greg,
they did not have a service error last night. How about that? No service errors.
I mean, that's great. That is a huge improvement, right? That's something that I think it was an emphasis at the beginning, towards the beginning of the season, and then it's continued to get better. We say it all along. I mean, I think just because of this program and how good they were last year, you just have these certain expectations, but you do not want to be playing perfect in September and at the end of August, even in early October. You want to start putting your best stuff together starting now and in these last couple of weeks before you head into postseason. So the things that maybe were things that they really had to improve on continue to get better, and that is one of them. The service errors, the aces, I think they've been serving really, really tough recently. So that continues to also add to why they've been so dominant. I just did the math. Just 4 in those in that stretch have been more than a sweep. So, and I think 2 of them, only one of them went to 5 sets. Was the one against Purdue. Well, sorry, 2, Creighton and Purdue, and then the other 2 were 3-1 wins, so they won in 4. And the rest were sweeps.
They had not had they'd not played in a match in 7 years that they didn't have a service error. You got to go back to 2017 to find a match where they didn't have a service error. And as I watched them last night, and I talked to a guy today, met a guy for coffee today, and he loves Husker volleyball and studied the program. He said, he goes, John would have to be the one. He goes, to me, he said, this is the best passing team that he's seen John Cook have. And they do. They pass the ball so well. They dig it out, and they just it's hard to get a kill on them. And they just set everybody up for good swings. And they're just really fun to watch because they're clicking right now. It's just amazing. So only 4 matches out of the 20 went more than 3 sets?
Yes, yeah. 2 were 4, 2 were 5. Purdue and Creighton were 5. The other 2 were 4. On that note, Greg, you think about just the passing, and that was a bit of a problem last year at times. And even Harper Murray is one that will say, I heard her last night, they interviewed her after the match, and they asked her about where can your game improve, and she's like, I always need to be better passing. But think how much better, more improved she is in passing. And so when you put her on the back row, she's solid back there on that, in that area. And then we're going to hear from JB later. He's a huge fan of Olivia Malk, and she's one of the best passers in the country. And, statistically, and then Lainey and Lexi. And I'll never forget this conversation when you go back to when we did the deep dive with Lauren back in the summer, and she was talking about, setting the middles and why that's not always something that's as easy. It's easier said than done, right? A lot of it is because the pass has to be there. And so Bergen can have the options there. And so I think that's why, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but maybe Lauren we could ask her about this, but I would assume that a big part of why they've been able to get the middle so involved is because of how good the passing has been, because of those options now that Bergen can really spread it around.
Crazy. The Huskers have won 12 straight sets. So that means that you win 3 sets. So that's 4 straight matches they haven't dropped a set. It's just crazy. Again, you would think they would be pushed tomorrow night. Washington just upset Minnesota on the road last night, so they're going to be coming home. They have beaten Oregon. But, man, right now I just have so much confidence in what that team is getting done. All right, we got wrestling going on at the Devaney Center. We've got a lot of basketball and volleyball coming up this weekend. We got college football that we need to pick some games coming up here. Has match 1 gone final yet at the Devaney, or is Antrell still?
And he won, but I don't know it's already, we're moving to 165 with Bubba Wilson. He is currently trailing in the second period 3-0.
Okay.
But Antrell won. It's at least a major. Nebraska has 5 points, so I'm assuming that's a major, right?
Got to be a major.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me pull up their Twitter feed. Yeah, they don't have the final score on there. So, but he did. Yeah, must have had a major if we got 5 points. So good start for Oscar. And you said just from some of the camera angles you've seen, looks like a pretty good crowd.
It looks like it. Yeah. I know that they were having really good success with selling out some of the suites for wrestling, which is cool. A cool element to add, people wanting to be a part of it. And last year we saw that, especially when Nash was wrestling, boy, the people were fired up, and you just saw that it's always a good crowd, but, it just continued to grow. So I think obviously when you got a team that's in the top 5, top 10, and they're a national title contender, it certainly draws a lot of interest. So that's great to see that they've got, it looks like a pretty good crowd out there to support them here in the season opener.
Very good. We'll keep track of that as the program moves on here tonight. All right, I'm ready to do some picks. I know everybody else is as well. So we'll take a break, come back, and we'll have our Choices Treatment Center picks of the week. The big dog, Josh, will join Jess and I next.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford Credit Financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford Credit Financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Be beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise. At Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored, oh, you know it, by Jeremiah.
Choices Treatment Center.
No, Akrs.
Akrs. Oh, I was ready for the picks.
Akrs, this is your line.
Akrs. Dang it. I was ready. I wasn't ready for that one.
You're right about Choices Treatment Center, too, though.
But the Broadcast Center is sponsored by
Akrs.
Yeah, there we go. We all know them as the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs Solutions for every field. He's under the weather a little bit, so we'll cut him a little slack, right?
Yes, hopefully it affects his picking this week.
Josh, we're leaving that in there. We're not going to take that out. So, let that thing roll with it. All right, let's talk some picks from last week. It was a really good week for some, average week for some others. Ohio State, Penn State, what a game. You rode with them.
I did.
They led 10-0 early.
I know. I felt really good. When I when I was heading down to the field, I was like, okay, I think we got this. And then, nope, Ohio State comes back and then holds them off in the second half. But whichever coach, what's crazy is like whichever coach won that game, the other one was going to be in some hot water.
Right. Isn't that crazy? But they're both still in the 12-team playoff, even Penn State after the loss. Minnesota was favored. We were puzzled by that last week, but somebody knew. Jeremiah knew, so the students. Congrats, big dog. You got the Gophs with a win on the road.
They're playing some good football right now. I mean, you turn on the tape and they look like the Tanner Morgans and the Mo Ibrahims of old, and just how they're taking care of the football, relying on their offensive line, and then playing good defense and taking the ball away. That's a team that's got on a real hot streak right now.
Playing good. All right, Northwestern at Purdue, pillow fight, overtime game. The students thought the Boilers could do it. Came close. They were the ones that missed. The rest of us did have the Cats in that game. Indiana, boy, they fell behind for the first time this year. 10-0 on the road. No problem. They bury Sparty 47-10. We all got the Hoosiers. We're riding that Hoosier bandwagon. They remain undefeated. Crazy.
Man, just you kept thinking like one of these days they might slip up, but they just haven't yet. I do know they have some tough ones on the schedule ahead, but it's been impressive what they've continued to do.
They have Michigan and Ohio State still left, right?
Yes.
They got to get through both of them.
Back to back.
So those are, I mean, more Ohio State than Michigan, but that's going to be, if they're both if he's undefeated heading into Ohio State, that's going to be a heck of a football game.
Iowa, Wisconsin, thought it would be close. It was not. Hawkeyes rout the Badgers. We all had the Hawks in that game. Washington and USC, the only one, Josh, to get it right. You nailed the Husky pick. Good job.
I'll admit it. I was pretty locked into that game at the end. It came right down to the wire. I thought I had it, then I didn't, and then they ended up pulling it out. So it worked out.
I mean, the 1 week I don't pick Washington. The one week I don't pick Washington, they freaking win. What the heck? Huskies.
Well,
they're my least favorite team this year.
They're also a quarterback killer, apparently, because there's all these talks now of USC going away from O'Reilly there, so that'll be interesting.
SC 4-5 with the Huskers set to visit next week. Arkansas, Ole Miss. I thought I could get Josh to go Arkansas. He didn't. Everybody went Ole Miss. They roll, and they're set for a big game this weekend. You talked about a killer. For me, it's this next one. I don't know why I kept picking Oklahoma State. You and I both did, Jess. ASU goes into Stillwater and wins. Jeremiah, Josh, students all got ASU right.
Yeah, they're another one of those teams that I'm with you. You just think that they are going to find a way to win, but I saw some projections the other day, some odds of head coaches that will not be there, and Mike Gundy's on that list.
Whoa.
Which is crazy because I don't think it'll happen, but he is actually on that list with the best odds of losing his job. But I don't think it'll happen, but the fact that he's even on that list.
Well, he told the fans this week to be patient. Kind of came out and yelled at the fans and said, back off
It's
me.
November. How much patience do you want him to have?
It's the old Aaron Rodgers, relax.
TCU at Baylor, the Bears win. Nobody went TCU. This is a pretty good football game, but Baylor wins in that holy war, what they have down there in the state of Texas. Undefeated Pitt, no longer. SMU took them apart. We were split on this one. Jess, you and I, and Josh got this one right. Big Dog and the students went with Pitt. Sorry, guys.
I know.
SMU's offense is electric. I mean, those dudes can put up offense and run and gun with the best of them, and Pitt was looking like really hot, and they came in there and ran into an absolute buzzsaw of a pony.
SMU, the first team out of the playoffs. They're number 13 in the week 1 reveal. Our Husker question, does Nebraska get 100 yards on the ground? I said no. The students said no. They got it with the Heinrich Harburg scramble on the last drive to get over 100, so congrats to you three.
At halftime, I was really worried. I was really concerned.
I definitely looked at the stat sheet at halftime as I was in the stadium. I was like, we got a long way to go here, friends.
So here we go. The weekly winner, Josh, 10-1. How about that? Jeremiah, 9-2. The rest of us went 7-4. It has really tightened up. Here are the standings. Jeremiah, 72-37 in first place. No, students 75-34. Jeremiah now 3 back of the students. Josh only 1 back of Jeremiah, so Josh leaps up to 3rd. I'm in 4th. Jess, 67-42. You need a big week.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I'm kind of over it at this point, but we'll rally. We'll see what we can do.
No one likes quitters, Jess. Come on. Everyone loves a comeback story. You just got to go with my mantra. Eventually, it works out. Even takes 3 years.
Well, I didn't need a comeback. I just fell off. So I started at the top.
Long way to go. We got all those bowl games too coming up, so we got a long way to go. All right, let's jump into it. Choices Treatment Center picks of the week. We'll start Friday night game here in about an hour and a half. Iowa and UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Hawkeyes a 5.5-point favorite. I like them. I think they'll ground out a win. They'll take control of the football game. They're running the ball so darn well. I think they get a road win over the Bruins.
I do too. I'm with you. I think this could have been one of those ones where maybe people will say, "Oh, look at what UCLA did," but I'm not. I'm not going to believe in UCLA just yet, just because of what we saw last week.
Yeah, I don't think UCLA is a world beater football team. And I'll tell you this, Iowa's figured out a way to score 40-plus points in a game. And they have a defense that can do what they do and hold people to under 21, and they can go find ways to score 30-plus. That's a dangerous football team, so I like the Hawks as well.
Right, it's the offense that's been carrying them this year, and I think that they can score more points than the Bruins, so I'll take Iowa too.
Clean sweep. Students also go with the Hawkeyes. All right, those Gophers that Jeremiah was talking about on the road tomorrow morning at Rutgers. Minnesota a 6-point favorite to get their 7th win. Do they do it?
Yeah, they do. I am not going to doubt Minnesota anymore. Well, depends on this week. I'm not going to doubt them. So I'm going to be with Searles on the Gopher bandwagon on rowing the boat this week.
Hey, there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. You guys jump right on. I've been on it for 2 weeks here. I'm definitely going to still ride with them. Goldie.
Yeah, the Scarlet Knights are in a bad place right now, so row the boat.
Students
They've
row the
never
boat.
recovered from almost losing to the Huskers.
Right.
Students are rowing. I'm rowing as well. I just think they're playing really well. Rutgers, I think Nebraska broke Rutgers. They won their first 4. They lose here, and they haven't won since. They're 4-4. They did have a bye week. I think they battle. I think this is a good game going to the fourth quarter, but Minnesota hangs on to win. Jeremiah, let's go to the SEC. This is a monster game. Georgia at Ole Miss. Georgia, a 2.5-point road favorite.
This game is going to be so much fun to watch, but I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Ole Miss here and Jackson Dart and the boys to get it done because Carson Beck, my friend, you don't look like a winning quarterback to me right now. And you look on the other side of Jackson Dart, he's got it. So give me Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't really trust the lane train in these big games. I'm tempted to pick against Georgia like you, Cyril, since it seems like they're pretty vulnerable at this point in the season, but I just don't trust the Rebels in this type of game, so I'm going with Georgia.
The students are with the dogs. That's a great word, Josh. I think that they tend to not live up to the moment when they need to. Georgia has certainly played in dozens of these type of games in the last few years. I think that experience, the ability to win a big game, I like the dogs. Can't wait for this one to kick off. I'll be locked in on this one tomorrow at 2:30.
I'm going with Georgia, too. I mean, I think they might be a little angry that people are questioning them a little bit, but here's a big game. They're used to these big games. I think they'll rise to the challenge here in this one.
All right, Jeremiah, swimming upstream. I love it.
Love it. Need it. Big wins.
All right, Josh, let's go to the Big 12. Iowa State lost for the first time this year. Now they go on the road to play Kansas coming off of a bye week, yet the Cyclones on the road, a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, Kansas has been playing well of late. They beat Houston a couple games ago, almost beat Kansas State. They only have 2 wins this year, but they're still playing hard. I just feel like it's hard to, when you don't have very many wins, to keep playing hard. But with all that said, I think the Cyclones bounce back from their first loss of the season. Give me Iowa State.
All right, students are with you. You laid out a great case for Kansas. They really outplayed K-State with a late fumble by Daniels, but Daniels looks to me like he has figured something out. Kansas gives Iowa State back-to-back losses.
Wow. I'm not gonna go out on that limb. I'm with Josh. I'm gonna go with Iowa State. I think they bounce back and get back in the win column.
Yeah, Iowa State's got a ton to play for still. They want to win the Big 12. They want to go to the playoff picture. You know, Kansas is trying to play upset, but if Iowa State can get up on them early and kind of take the momentum from them in Kansas, then I don't think Kansas can play up with them. So give me Iowa State.
All right. I'm swimming upstream in that game. Love it. All right. Undefeated Army. How about that? Still undefeated into November. They're at North Texas, a 5.5-point favorite. Love the way they play. People kind of forget they beat Louisville earlier this year. Give me the Knights to keep it going. Army stays undefeated through another week of the college football season.
Yeah, if I would have told you on November 8th that the team with the longest active winning streak was Army,
wow,
what would you have said?
No,
would not have believed it?
No shot.
Army, I've seen them up close, in person. They played Oklahoma. It was a high-powered offense. It was when Kyler Murray was running it. That's kind of what North Texas is. They like to throw it around. It gives teams that like to be those high-flying offenses fits how they just run the ball, and it just is so deflating. I'm taking Army, even though North Texas does have one of the best offenses statistically in the nation. I think Army slows them down and gets the win, stays undefeated. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, nothing frustrates a high-flying offense like not being on the field, just sitting on the sideline watching first down after first down. And so I'm with you, Jess. I think Army continues to roll here. Even North Texas is going to give them a run.
Yep, not picking against our nation's Army, especially this game.
And it's Veterans Day on Monday, right?
Right.
The added influence. Students are also on the Army train as well, so everybody goes Army. All right, Jess, Clemson played bad last week. Louisville goes into Death Valley and takes them apart. They're on the road this week, but they're favored at Va-Tech by 6.5.
Yeah, Virginia Tech has got a couple of their star players, a running back, quarterback, both questionable. They also lost. Which team gets the bounce back? I'm still going to say it's Clemson. I think they somehow it's crazy to think how different Clemson is now than they were, 3-4 years ago, but I think they still are good enough to get the bounce back at Va-Tech.
If Virginia Tech was healthy, they win this game, and we're not sure who's going to play as of right now, so I can't pick them. I got to go with Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson's best win this year is maybe NC State. So they haven't really played anybody, but Tech had, on the other side had won 3 straight before losing to Syracuse, but I think Clemson does find a way to win on the road. But I was very tempted to take Tech in this one.
Students go Clemson. I'll roll. You guys laid out a good case. I'll go along with that. Give me Clemson, so we're all 5 on the Tigers. All right, let's come back to the Big 12. The Colorado Buffaloes in the college football top 25 poll, coming off of a bye week, going to Lubbock. Tech coming off that big win over Iowa State. Colorado road 3.5-point favorite. Jeremiah, love you picking this pick with Colorado out of the gate here.
I don't want to do it, but I'm getting closer to those students right there, so I got to go with the Fighting Deons out of Boulder. Got to pick with my brain, not my heart.
All right. The Buffs, they've just gotten better and better each week. I think Texas Tech had to put a lot into beating the Cyclones last week, whereas CU had the week off, so give me Colorado.
Students say, they're going Texas Tech, ride it out there in Lubbock. I'm with them. I think Tech's got it going a little bit. They're playing good football. Had that wild game with TCU. They were the dominant team really in Ames. I think they're pretty good. I think Colorado's bye week came at a bad time. I think it's going to derail their momentum. Tech holds it home.
This is a hard. I think this is the hardest pick this week because there have been some times where you go back and you're like, I just can't pick Texas Tech. But you're right. The last couple of games, they found something. They've got it going. However, I think I'm going to go with Searles and Josh in this one. I think Colorado, because Texas Tech's defense just isn't very good. So when you talk about a shootout, I'm going to go with Colorado every time.
We're split 2 and 3, like those kind of games. Okay, Josh, South Carolina at Vanderbilt. South Carolina beat A&M. Boy, did they beat A&M last week. Vandy's been a great story.
Yeah.
Would be a bigger story if Indiana wasn't doing what they're doing. Vandy, though, a home dog at 3.5 points.
Yeah, both teams with huge upsets this season have played solid all year. The fact that the Gamecocks are favored on the road makes me think that Vegas thinks they're the better team. So I'm going to go with them. I've got South Carolina.
Okay. Students are going, no, let's go Vandy. Keep that little ride going. So the students out there with Vandy, I'm kind of feeling like a student. Give me Vandy to keep having a good year. I mean, come on, people, the way they played Bama, this is just, I think it's a magical year for Vanderbilt. I like Vanderbilt at home.
You could say it's a magical year for South Carolina. I mean, the way that they are playing, and they've been right there, and we're on the verge of beating some of the top teams. I've got South Carolina. You know me, I'm a big fan of Shane Beamer. I like what they're doing. They've found something here in the last few weeks as well. They beat Oklahoma, beat Texas A&M. Give me the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fantastic football game. I agree with you, Greg. Vandy's been doing some really fun things this year. That quarterback they have is making crazy throws and getting away with things he shouldn't be getting away with. But I've watched South Carolina against LSU. I've watched against Alabama. They are the more talented football team. When you get late in the year here, usually talent takes over some of that magic stuff that happens early in the year. So I'm also going with the Gamecocks.
All right, 3 and 2 on this pick, like those divided up picks. Okay, big night game tomorrow night, prime time. Alabama at LSU. The Tide coming off of a bye week, favored by 3. I like the quarterback matchup bending to Bama. Nussmeier, I don't trust. I think he might make a big mistake late in the game. I think Alabama goes on the road and wins.
What does my dad say? Never bet against LSU at night, at home, but I'm going to do it again.
Oh, you did already.
I'm going with Bama again. I don't know why. I mean, this has now bit me in the butt multiple times, but I think Alabama's going to win. I think that coming off the bye week, I think they find a way to win.
Wow.
Jess, you tell your dad I'm listening to him. Go LSU. Go Tigers. At home, Death Valley. I'm feeling it.
Well, it feels like I was doing a little bit of looking into this because it felt like when I was going through these picks yesterday that it seems like Alabama has held a stronghold on this matchup with LSU. And over the last 10 matchups they have, I think LSU just has 2 wins in that time period. So I think they get it done again this time. Give me the Crimson Tide to go into Death Valley and win.
All right, Jeremiah by himself with LSU. I'm surprised it was because the students go Bama as well. So last pick, Jess, it comes to you. Back to the Big 12. BYU at Utah, long-time rivalry. BYU undefeated. Not real happy with where they came out in the college football playoff poll as far as the seeding part. They would be a top 4 if they win the Big 12. They may want to try to prove something. They're favored by 4.
I got BYU. I mean, I know crazy things happen in this rivalry game, but like you said, BYU's got something to prove. They are quietly also one of the great stories in college football this year. They're competing for the Big 12. How exciting has the Big 12 been this year?
Cool.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, from thinking that they might be on life support to now they've been a really fun league to watch and follow. So I've got BYU. I think, they've got enough veteran experience. They've got guys that, want to do something special, and they're always old, obviously. So I think they'll be able to handle the road atmosphere at Utah in this rivalry matchup. Give me BYU.
Yeah, you nailed it, Jess. They need something to prove, right? They want to prove that they're a football playoff team. They want to prove they might want to host a playoff team. Like, they have everything put out in front of there. They just have to go do it. And I really like the way they play football. I love the way they play defense, too. So I'm with the Cougs.
Yeah, this one seems like a slam dunk. Utah has lost 4 in a row. Meanwhile, all BYU has done is just won all their games. So that makes me hesitate a little bit, but I'll go with the Cougars in this one.
Utah is really one of the more disappointing teams in the country, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've been so good so many years. They've been one of those teams that have been in that conversation in the Pac-12. They've had some elite offenses, but they've not done as well this year. And it's been one of those fall-off stories that you didn't really expect, I don't think, going into the Big 12.
Their quarterback's as old as I am.
He's good. I like him.
He's older than Ben Scott was.
He's also
you're talking
30
about
years old. Cam Rising.
College forever.
Right? Cam Rising's been going back for his 9th season at Utah.
And Jeremiah, they went strutting into the Big 12. They were like, we're going to own this league right from the get-go, and they're down at the bottom of the standings. Little humble pie for Utah. Students are BYU. I am as well, so a clean sweep for BYU. This is going to be a fun weekend. There's some pretty good games. Good week to have a bye for the Huskers because they're going to be some fun, particularly those 2 games in the SEC. Should be good.
Yeah, and some basketball action too.
That's
on the bye week. But it's always enjoyable because game days are so crazy. It's always enjoyable to have one of those days where you can sit back and watch a bunch of football, and then let's get back to it next week.
Jeremiah, great stuff as always.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great bye week, and go Big Red.
There we go. It's our Choices Treatment Center picks for the week. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choice's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. More of Sports Nightly coming up next.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-notch products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit Sukup.com to find your dealer today.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Neese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The best Thanksgiving tradition is football, and AAA knows the best way to celebrate the holiday is by hitting the road with the Huskers. The Huskers play their annual Black Friday game on the road this year, and AAA is giving fans a chance to win a road trip package to Iowa City. The package includes 2 game tickets to Nebraska versus Iowa on November 29th, a gas card, and hotel accommodations, courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Enter at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Contest ends on November 17th.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hello, Husker Nation. This is Lex Rodriguez, All-American Libero, serving you an ace on behalf of Noddle Companies based in Omaha, Nebraska. Noddle Companies is a full-service leader in commercial real estate, digging deep to create thriving communities like the Builders District, Akrs Village, and the contemporary row house townhomes. They bring world-class concepts in fashion, great eats, gorgeous homes, and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. To dig up more information, find them on Facebook and Instagram. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on the massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Akrs Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Folks, League One Volleyball coming to Omaha this January, featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Aranchez. LOVB Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. Visit LOVB.com for ticket information. How much fun is that pick segment? Man, we have so much fun every week putting that thing together for you. Let me get you updated on our chat room picks from last week. Joseph went 9-1. Way to rock it, Joseph. That's fantastic. Mike went 8-2. Then you had a batch at 6-4. Gavin, Ethan, Korn, Sandy, Shane all went 6-4. Justin went 5-5 along with Conservative and Dryce. Ethan went, or I gave Ethan Crypto. Come on, you're pulling it down. 3-7. That's unacceptable.
Wow, that's worse than me.
Got to get it going. Joseph leads overall 78-29. Shane's 3 back of him. Mike is at 73-34, and Andy at 72-35. So there you go. Those are your chat room picks. So there's mine. You've been tracking Husker wrestling out the Devaney. How are things going out there?
Well, first of all, how about Searles blowing it when you give him a chance to do the Akrs?
That was a layup.
Like, they've been asking for him to do it. He's done it before, and he just totally bombed. I mean, there was his moment, and he just bombed. At least he got one. At least he got a right sponsor, just was in the wrong spot. But, okay, so wrestling, Huskers up 13-4, and Camden McDaniel is that star true freshman that's in at 197. Little bit of a scary moment. He went down with, looked like a knee injury in the first period, but he's back. He's wrestling. He's up 3-2 in the second period now. So he's fighting, but Huskers overall up 13-4. Bonus points from Antrell Taylor and Lenny Pinto. Just a decision by Silas Allred and Bubba Watson. I'm thinking
Wilson.
golf.
Bubba Wilson.
Dropped his. He was wrestling against the number 6 wrestler at that weight class. So, but 13-4, Huskers currently leading.
So the next match will be the heavyweight match, and then they'll go back down to 125 to get it going. So they're past the halfway point out at the Devaney Center. Only home meet for a while, so I know the home folks are out there, and it looks like a pretty good crowd. Jim in Columbus on our text line said, Jessica, I was off all day, too. I think it's the time change. That's true. But he said, but I'm retired, so every day is confusing to him. So. But I'm with you. All week I kept going, isn't this Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. Isn't this Friday? No, it's Thursday. Just got me off all week.
And it is pretty empty here on campus tonight, too, which is also eerie. You know, I mean, with the training table as hopping as it is at all times of the day now, right over here out in front of our studio, I guess they're off tonight. There's nobody. I had no issues finding parking tonight. So it's just it just feels weird. I don't know. It feels weird to be here on a Friday night. I don't know why. I guess because we haven't done it much.
We have not had a Friday show in a long time. And we have another one next Friday as well before the USC game. So a couple of rare Fridays, and then we're off again for a few more. And then you get into December, and we should have Husker Volleyball playing in the NCAA tournaments on Friday nights. Folks, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
Hey Husker fans, Coach Rule here, thanking you for your incredible support of Nebraska football. We're working every day to bring championship football back to Nebraska. Just as important is your contribution to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. Every contribution, no matter how small, makes a big impact. Your support helps us recruit and retain top talent, bringing a winning program that can compete at the highest level. Visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEBNIL to 801-801 now.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Final few minutes of hour one, packed hour two coming up. We're going to hear some of the Sideline Slice podcast. We'll also hear from Kent Pavelka, Matt Cody, John Bader. I mean, what more could you want on a Friday night? It's going to be fantastic.
Entertainment at its finest. You want entertainment? We got you.
Crazy.
Kent, JB.
Do we have another final from Devaney?
Camden McDaniel wins his first bout as a Husker, and it was cool. The true freshman, his reaction afterwards, because as I mentioned in the last segment, he got a little hurt. It looked like maybe he hurt his knee, walked it off, was able to finish, and ends up picking up a win. His first one as a Husker. You only get one first one, Greg. So that was cool to see how happy he was after that one. So Huskers now up 16-4 as they head into the heavyweight bout. So good start for Mark Manning's crew.
No doubt. Hey, this is a bizarre story that just came down the pike within the last hour. Auburn's men's basketball team is playing in Houston tomorrow against the Cougars. Great matchup. This is a top 10 matchup. Jeff Goodman is reporting this. Auburn's plane, listen to this, Jess. Auburn's plane returned back home due to horseplay between players on the flight that could have escalated into a fight. Auburn was about 45 minutes en route, had to turn the plane around and come back. They're expected to take another plane to Houston later tonight. Apparently, it almost got the fisticuffs, guys on the team, and they felt the pilots and the flight attendants did not feel safe, and they turned the plane around and went back and landed. Wow. How about that?
I mean, you couldn't have made that story up. I mean, what a crazy story. Wow. How could the coaching staff not get it under control? I mean,
unbelievable.
I cannot wait to hear the more details out of this one, because I don't know how you could get so out of control that you got to turn the flight around. That's crazy.
It's embarrassing, right? I mean, come on.
Really embarrassing.
Holy cow. Well, wild stuff. That's great. It's a great matchup tomorrow. Those are, again, those are two top 10 teams with Houston and Auburn. Coach Pearl down there. All right, another hour coming your way. We're going to hear a little bit of the Sideline Slice. Going to hear from the other guys. And we'll pick some winners and losers coming up next hour as well. We'll keep our eye on the pulse of what's going on at the Devaney Centers. They're now to the heavyweight part of that duel. Good crowd on hand out there. Busy day tomorrow at PBA. You've got volleyball state finals tomorrow that shift over to the Devaney Center for the championship round tomorrow. So Lincoln's hopping with stuff going on, even though there is no football in Lincoln here this weekend.
There's a buzz.
All right.
There's a buzz. That's for sure. It's fun.
Yeah. Always got to be nervous when you got people from out of town, like for state volleyball or basketball. They all go down those one-way streets the wrong way. You got to be careful out there. One down, one to go. Come on back with hour two.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us. Sid Dillon.
Nebraska Soybeans Power makes everyday products, from Goodyear tires and Ford cars and trucks to Skechers shoes and soy-based turf. These innovations replace petroleum and utilize other components of the soybean, leading to more sustainable products worldwide.
I'm Doug Sadoff, a farmer near Trumbull, Nebraska. Thanks to cutting-edge research, soybeans are now in everything from tires to turf. It's amazing to see how these advancements are unlocking new potential for our crops.
Soybeans are a win for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Last night, Nebraska Volleyball swept the 12th-ranked Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Tomorrow night, the Huskers continue play on the West Coast as they play the Washington Huskies. That game will start at 9:30. Pre-game coverage with John Taylor and Lauren Cook-West will start at 8:30 on the HRN. The third-ranked Nebraska wrestling team is currently hosting their opening duel of the year as they play Utah Valley. This Sunday, the 13th-ranked Husker rifle team will host their first home match of the season against the 15th-ranked UTEP Miners. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Now get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Raiola turns, fakes the handoff, looks a little fade route to the back corner of the end zone, passes up, and it's caught. It is a touchdown, Nebraska. Isaiah Nair pulls one in, and the Huskers have 6 points.
Set to the back row, Franklin swings. Unbelievable dig, Laney Showboy. Nebraska bumps it to the left. Taylor Landfair roll shot, and it falls. Nebraska's up 18-15. Landfair's finest hour as a Husker. Tonight, Taylor Landfair, 10 kills and 6 errors, and the Huskers are up 18-15 in the third.
Defensive rebound by Wooster, brings it across the timeline. Defender on his back all the way to the rim. Nope, circles back out, kicks to Esigian, 3-ball. Got it! Connor Esigian with his third three. It's 72-65.
Bojan with the active hands. Ahead it comes. Britt Prince on the deep left wing, tracks down the loose ball. Bojan not guarded. Her three-pointer. You betcha! The first Central Valley Egg 3 of the year goes to Petra Bojan, and now Nebraska has hit a three-pointer in 500 straight games.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, final hour of the night and the final hour of the week of Sports Nightly as we get ready to head into a weekend without football, but still lots of Husker activities that are going to be going on, including wrapping up that wrestling duel out at the Devaney Center as we speak. But we're going to get a full rundown of some basketball and volleyball to come this weekend a little bit later on in this hour with a little whip around talking to our gang, JB, Matt Coney, and Kent Pavelka. Looking forward to that coming up here in a little bit. Also, later in the hour, you all love this, winners and losers. But to start us off, Jessica earlier in the week caught up with the big dog, Jeremiah Searles, to put out another podcast, Sideline Slice with Searles. Here's part of that.
All right. Well, I guess we've avoided it long enough. Tough one. It's not easy to talk about. I know we don't always enjoy getting on here and dissecting, a loss like that. We had such high hopes that we would be talking about that 6th win going into, this week in the bye week. But, man, just a tough performance. And, the coaches and players, Coach Rules said it, they've owned it. Just disappointing and frustrating that, they really let an opportunity slip away there.
Yeah, and disappointing is the greatest word I can think to use for it. So much buzz around this game, so much promise coming off the performance that was the Ohio State game. And to come out and put a performance like that in front of your home crowd that you haven't been in front of for almost a month, it was just a disappointing feeling. And it's hard to put your finger on what was the issue, who was to blame. It was a collective. It was a collective of defense not being able to get off the field on third down, offense not being able to sustain drives or even start getting some first downs, and everything just kind of kept boiling up, and then eventually you find yourself in a 20-point hole against a team that's 2-5. And I don't care how good you are against teams, when you get down that many scores, regardless if you're the more talented team or not, it's just really hard to come back from. And we just found ourselves down in a big hole and weren't able to claw ourselves out. And, we saw some fight there at the end from the Huskers against that UCLA team. But you got to give credit to that UCLA team coming in and having a game plan and executing it from the word go and getting the stadium really taken out of it in the first quarter, moving forward there, and then just continue to put their foot on the gas.
Look, this team says it all the time. You just got to do your own job no matter what the circumstances are, and that's part of playing football, no matter what the other side of the ball is doing. But that being said, how tough is it for an offense when you come out, UCLA gets the ball first, then they go on an 8-minute drive, and you're just sitting over there for a long time waiting for your turn?
Yeah, it really can take the wind out of your sails. Everyone's so juiced up before the game. The atmosphere, the flyover was sick, and you've got all this juice and pent-up energy, and then the defense goes out there first, and the crowd's on their feet, and you got Nate Rourke with the third, right, just getting after it. And then they just keep converting, and it's every third down's like just a punch in the gut. Right? It's like you're up off the bench, ready to go in, and then, they convert. And you go sit back down, and then get first down stop, second down stop. Okay, here we go again. It's third. And then you get back over there, and then they get another one. And it's deflating, right? Because it's easy to fall into is this what we're doing today? Right? Are we going to struggle to get off the ball? Oh, my gosh, we better get a drive together, right? And then the pressure gets cranked up. Right, then everyone gets a little bit more anxious. Hey, we better get a third. We better get some drives, man. That defense is going to be tired. They just did a big series. They held them right at the end, right? They kept them off the end zone. Yay, defense. Let's go make sure we get on the field and do something good. 3 and out, right? And that is just such a deflating start to a game that I can remember the Huskers having in a while, right? Right down the field, score, get the ball, everyone's excited, 3 and out. They get the ball again, right down the field, score. And you're just like, man, it's just tough to get back into a rhythm offensively, and then you find yourself down, right? And so the game plan starts shifting a little bit, and you're like, man, there's like the second quarter just started, and we're already kind of scrambling a little bit. So it definitely is a mental kind of up and down of how you're feeling, how the start of the game, how the game's going. But I just felt like we were never able to shake the start of that football game, and it kind of just lingered with us the rest of the game.
What do you think the issues were on third downs for the defense in the first half? They settled in, were much better, as the game moved on. But why could they not get off the field there in the first quarter and into the second quarter?
Yeah, I think UCLA had a really good game plan of getting into third and manageables. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2s, and they had a couple 3rd and 9s. But the more I study this Tony White defense and the more I get more well-versed with it, we're built on getting to the quarterback, right? This defense is built to have stunts up front and pressures and bidding one-on-one matchups for our linebackers on running backs. And when we can't get to the quarterback, the quick passing game has really hurt us in the last 3 weeks, right? Looking back to Indiana, looking back to some of the success that Ohio State had throwing the football against us, and then looking at what UCLA was able to do with the quick passing game, it really just felt like we were always one step away from it being a sack or a hit, but he was able to get the ball out and find the open receiver and make the right read. And so it's this combination of us not pressuring the quarterback in the proper way and getting home, and our DBs having a little too much cushion on the back end. And I don't know if there's a fix to that, right? Because I do think that the identity of Tony White is to be aggressive, is to continue to go and get after the quarterback. So I don't want him to change that because it has been successful. But we do have to switch some things up in the back end of, hey, if we're going to, teams are kind of blueprinting, hey, on third down, they're going to blitz, they're going to stunt, they're going to twist. These 8 to 10 yard in-breaking routes over the middle, or these quick outs with a sprinting and a rollout, those are the things that have hurt us. We have to find a way to have answers for those, because UCLA exploited those weak points on our defense this last Saturday.
Again, that was this week's Sideline Slice, presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Huskers. That was just a small portion of the full conversation, which is out now on our podcast platforms and our YouTube channel as well. Greg, he was he got a little fired up at some times, especially when he was talking about the consistency part of it. We dove into that Coach Rule addressed in his press conference this week, but it was, Searles has some good takes, and so I always enjoy hearing his perspective. And he was at the game and took it all in, but then also the benefits of bringing in a Dana Holgorsen and what that could maybe potentially add to the offense. So lots of good stuff from Searles this week.
Well, we have to be kind of honest right now where this is. I mean, this team has lost their last several games, and we're sitting here 5-4 needing one more, and there are some problems with it. So, we can't just sit here and say everything's great. It's not, and that's why Dana Holgorsen's here. That's why Phil Snow has been added as a consultant for defense as well. So I think everybody appreciates Jeremiah and his honesty, and we know he loves the program. So, it's you got to kind of be real with each other. So
yeah, there's
love hearing
nobody.
that.
I mean, look, we all want it, but there's nobody that wants it more than Searles.
Right.
He is a former player that is all in on this and believes in Coach Rule and wants to see it better. And I think that the point that he made about the defense in this podcast this week about, look, I am hard on them because I've seen what they can be. Once you put something on tape, like they did against Ohio State, that is my expectation for you every single week because now I know what you're capable of. And I think Tony White would absolutely agree. I think this whole team would agree, that this defense for, maybe they weren't as good against Indiana, but hey, you showed it against Ohio State. So now, that's kind of what you expect to see on tape every week from this defense. And maybe in the second half, they were able to lock it in, but they'll be the first to tell you it wasn't good enough in the first half.
That's exactly right. Folks, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. When we come back, Jessica's going to have the pleasure of talking to John Bader, also to Matt Coody, and to Kemp Pavelka. It's a little whip around as these guys get ready to call game actions tomorrow. We'll dive into that next.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up.
Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester is the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. More distinctive style, more advanced safety technology, and always the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. The all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Love begins with trust. Visit Duteau Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at duteausubaru.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut. Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties, your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on our massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red!
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
If there's one thing Nebraska is known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens.
I'm Jason Pinky, a farmer near Craig, Nebraska. Soybeans are vital for feeding our livestock, and they're also a powerhouse protein source for people worldwide. Our world needs protein, and Nebraska soybeans are making a difference.
From tailgate grills to global plates, farmers deliver affordable, nutritious protein to build muscle and energy for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Well, no football as it is a football bye weekend, but it does not mean we will not have a busy day here on the Huskers Radio Network. We've got all day coverage for you with a couple of basketball games and a nightcap with Husker Volleyball. So we're going to bring you a preview of all of the action that you'll be hearing here on the network all throughout the day with the guys that will be calling the action. And we start with women's basketball. They'll be the first up on the slate on Saturday, taking on Southeastern Louisiana at 1 o'clock inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. So we welcome in Matt Coatney, who will be on the call with Jeff Griesch. Coat, thanks for joining us.
Oh, Jess, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Looking forward to a fun weekend of basketball.
Well, what a start for Husker women's basketball. Just a dominating performance over Omaha. How impressive, how good was that start for this basketball team?
You know, it was good to see the team play a real game against a real opponent. Alexis Markowski looks so consistent. I've said many times I'm looking very forward to what Natalie Potts is going to do this year, coming off Big Ten Freshman of the Year. I was about in tears seeing Allison Widener back in the starting lineup and playing well. I thought Callan Hake's defense just really kind of kept going from where she finished last year in the postseason as a defensive stopper. And then Britt Prince, I think, really met all expectations in her debut. So 23rd ranked, and I thought they had a really good showing to start stuff off.
So Alexis Markowski didn't make you wait long to call her record-breaking double-double. At what point did you realize, because I know you're really close to Jordan Hooper too, but at what point did you realize, okay, she could be knocking down some records by the end of her career?
You know, that is such a hard record to get. When you think about Kelsey Griffin and Jordan Hooper, it took 4 full years to do it. You know, things can happen along the way that defenses come along. But I really thought midway through her sophomore year that she might be able to threaten that record, and she really did. And I'm so proud of Lex. Her game gets better and better year by year. She's a 5-tool player. How many centers do you know that consistently put up 16 points, 10 rebounds, and can go out beyond the three-point line and knock down a three and then play lockdown defense on the back? So, yeah, I would say probably midway through her sophomore year, it probably came onto my radar.
Do you foresee this team being a balanced scoring attack like we saw in game number 1 with, 6 players in double figures? Do you expect that to be the norm for this team this season?
Yeah, I hope so. They're built that way. The one thing that having a dynamic scorer like Jazz Shelley has done for the Huskers is if Jazz didn't hit a certain number of points every night, it would be really hard for the Huskers to win. But now you've got Markowski, Prince, Potts, you bring in a Bertie Rimdahl, you bring back an Allison Widener, so that if not all engines are firing offensively, there's a lot of other options for this Nebraska team. It's going to be very hard for opposing teams to take away someone without someone else picking up this slack. I think it can be a very balanced scoring team despite the level of competition.
So after game number 1, what were some of the areas of focus that, talking with this coaching staff, that they really wanted to attack this week before taking the court for game number 2 on Saturday?
Well, I would say going back to the exhibition game, Nebraska got a little 3-point happy against Doane, and I think they solved that in their first regular season game. And so heading into southeastern Louisiana, I think that the coaches want to make sure that that becomes consistent, that the team runs the play, doesn't look for the first quick shot, that they don't get 3-point happy. I think the other thing is they want to cut down live ball turnovers. This time of the year, it's very easy to do that. And then I think they're going to work on seeing what rotations work. When Rimdahl's in the game, who throws the ball to her best in the shooting pocket where she's shot ready, for example. Those are the kinds of things that I think they tried to clean up after the exhibition game. So they had a pretty thorough and complete game. Consistency maybe also, Jess, in that if you've got a 20-point lead, you don't let the other team get it down to 10, that you play consistently throughout the whole game and you don't have any letdowns. And a lot of that can be by making that extra pass on offense and not taking too many threes too early.
Well, let's talk about tomorrow's opponent, Southeastern Louisiana. What do we need to know about them? What kind of matchup is this going to be for Nebraska?
They're deep, and they're very talented. They are picked second in the Southland Conference. 2 years ago, they went to the NCAA tournament. They had a season-ending injury for one of their stars last year, which really affected them. They've added a transfer. They've got the Conference Defensive Player of the Year in Jalencia Pierre, who is a lockdown defender, but they're very deep. They remind me of the Texas A&M teams of the 2010s, where they just really get in your face. I think they foul a lot. They try to take the ball away from you. They're going to really try to turn Nebraska over. So the Huskers are going to have to take care of the ball. I think Southeastern Louisiana is going to get in foul trouble. So if the Huskers get to the line, they got to make their shots there, but don't get sped up. Southeastern Louisiana will try and speed you up. Offensively, they're going to take a lot of bad shots. So Nebraska is going to have to control the defensive glass, limit them to one shot, and then I think they'll be okay.
All right, great stuff. We'll look forward to the call coming up again. 1 o'clock is tip-off, but the pregame show will be starting at 12:30 with Matt Coatney and Jeff Grease to get you set for Nebraska taking on Southeastern Louisiana in game number 2 of the 2024-2025 season. Coat, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it.
And game number 2 inside Pinnacle Bank Arena on Saturday will be Nebraska men's basketball taking on Bethune-Cookman at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. And so we welcome in the voice of Nebraska men's basketball, Kent Pavelka. Kent, how are you feeling? Are you back in the swing of things now that basketball is back?
I think so. Maybe a little early to tell, but I better be, right? No, I think so, yeah. It was interesting Monday night, good game, nice win, and on to game number 2, broadcast number 2, 30-some to go. So here we are early in the year.
But your favorite time of the year, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, once I get in the rhythm of it and in the swing of it, it is the best time of the year.
All right.
It'll be the best time of the year will be in March when we go back to the tournament and win a game.
Absolutely.
Right?
There you go. Well, it's been a game, an exhibition game, but you've been out to practice quite a bit. Do you have a sense yet? How much do you like this basketball team?
Well, I like the potential a lot. I think that they've got the pieces that if they come together, like last year's team came together, they can be as good or better, I think. And people have talked about it. If you just joined us and you haven't really, you're not up to speed about the Huskers this year, they have 7 D1 transfers on the team, 2 freshmen and a new walk-on, and 3 guys back from last year who are really good players. Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary and Sam Hoiberg. So they're building those new pieces around those guys. And I like them. I mean, they've got 2 point guards this year. We didn't really have one last year, a true point guard. We got 2 posts, can play traditional kind of game in the middle. The combination of the 2 guys didn't really have one last year. So you've got some pieces that I think will give Coach Hoiberg the opportunity to go to the bench and bring in a piece for any given occasion. And so I think they're really talented. They're long, but they haven't played much together. And so waiting for that game where we see that magic that they had last year.
How about Bryce Williams, the start that he got off to, a career high as a Husker in a Husker uniform? Is that something that he is capable of night in and night out?
I think so. I mean, I think he's the alpha, and I think he's trying to take that role on. I don't know that it fits his personality naturally, but he's a really good guy, and I think he's trying to be more vocal. But yeah, he's got, I think he's got a chance on the next level. I really do. In the NBA, I think he'll get a look for sure. And I think that, he will be the guy that has, averages the most minutes and I think the most points per game. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Okay, let's talk about game number 2. Bethune-Cookman, as you're diving into the prep for this one, what are you learning about this team and what's the matchup going to look like for the Huskers?
What I've learned is that I know how to pronounce its name now, Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
And I'm glad they're playing them because I've always kind of wondered about that. And the other one is the next opponent, Fairleigh Dickinson. You look at that one and how do you pronounce that one? But they're coached by Reggie Theus, who played for the Bulls and then went on to a coaching career, did some TV, played in the late 70s and 80s, 2-time All-Star in the NBA. He's in his 4th season. He's the AD there as well as the head coach. He's got nice players. It's so hard for me, Jess, to watch video and then have that translate to what I see on the floor. They're always better. I always look at them on tape and maybe I'm not that impressed, but they've got a guy one returning starter that's a really good scorer in Reggie Ward. And then they've got a guy who's been around the block, Antoine Jones. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because it should be familiar. He played at Creighton for a year, but he's been all over the place. He wound up at Bethune-Cookman. He played at Memphis and most recently and at Louisiana University and at Central Florida. But he hurt himself. He only got 5 minutes in their first game, and they lost to Texas Tech on Tuesday. But I think they're counting on him and Ward to do most of their scoring. So it'll be interesting. Anxious to talk to Coach about it before the game tomorrow, see what he thinks about him. But, they've got these 3 games. The one they won the other night, beat UT Rio Grande Valley, longest name in captivity for a basketball team or a university. But then Bethune-Cookman and then Fairleigh Dickinson, and they need to use these games to get ready for a really tough week the next week. The next 2 games playing in Sioux Falls against St. Mary's, and then the next game is at Creighton. So they need to get better. tomorrow and next Wednesday to be ready for those two.
Absolutely. How's Jake? You got him in midseason form?
Well, yeah, I think so. You know, I told him when he went on the air that, the regular season is here when he shows up for the broadcast. He couldn't be bothered for the exhibition game. So Ben stood in for him. No, he's in great shape. We're gonna have some fun this year, I think.
I think you are too. All right, Jake Muehlheis and Kent Pavelka will be on the call for us starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday as the Huskers will look to make it 2-0 to start the season. Kent, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thanks, Jess.
And finally, the nightcap here on the Huskers Radio Network tomorrow night is another late one for Husker Volleyball. 9:30 start at Washington, and John Baylor will be on the call for us with the pregame show starting at 8:30. JB, you rested up? You ready for a another late night start? How's the West Coast treating you?
Jessica, I'm doing great. It's fun out here, and it's even more fun when you win. But, yeah, I'm wearing more flannels, and I've got hiking boots on just in case I see a trail anywhere. But very outdoorsy out here, and what a great start to this trip on Thursday night down in Eugene.
Well, we talked to Lauren, and she was a little bit nervous for that matchup against Oregon.
I agree.
What allowed for the Huskers to once again be dominant and another sweep for Nebraska? What went into this one?
Well, it's always healthy when Lauren and or I are nervous about a match, because we were very nervous about the Wisconsin match and also to a lesser extent last night. But my goodness, this defense starts with defense. You got 4 consecutive matches, Jessica, when the Huskers' opponent has hit less than 155. Now, it's very difficult to win a match when you hit less than 155. Very, very difficult. It happens. It's very unusual. I mean, for example, Washington somehow beat Minnesota last night, and Washington hit like less than 130. So very unusual. So the Huskers' number 1 defense in the country is back. Now, for the season, they're not even in the top 10 right now, but that's because their difficulty of schedule. And, they were not quite as stingy defensively earlier in the year, but wow, have they hit their stride. And remember the competition here. You've got a ranked opponent last night. You got a ranked opponent at Wisconsin. So when you have great defense, you've got frustrated opposing hitters. They start trying to do too much. They start hitting balls out of bounds, and it just creates this virtuous cycle for your own team.
What's gone into the stingy defense and the turnaround defensively here lately?
Oh, Olivia Mauk. Most things start and end with Olivia. I'm still trying to figure out a good nickname. What do you think? I got the Silent Assassin. We're workshopping it. I'm hearing from fans. I'm hearing the Red Dagger. That could be sweet. But my point is, she gets 2 service aces last night, but also she serves more balls than anyone else. She got 19 serves because she's always running points because she's playing when she serves because the other team will attack back, and they cannot side out, in part because Olivia's there to dig the ball. She just is so calm. She's just stabilizing. Then you got Bergen, who's extremely relaxed and calm, and it's just Olivia adds so much to this defensive law firm of Rodriguez, Choboy, and Mauk. And together, these 3, probably the best back row in Nebraska history, although I just alienated and upset a few families of former players in the back row who over the decades. But there's just no weakness. So even when the opponent gets the attack off the block or around the block, those 3 floor defenders, they protect the floor as well as varnish.
And she's just a freshman. That's what's also really impressive about it, too. Just the way she is not phased at all.
Yeah, I mean, they were great defenders last year, right? But Laney's better this year. Last year, Laney had some passing issues, but she was always a great digger. And then Lexi's pretty much Lexi. But you add Olivia Mauk, I mean, every rotation, you've got at least 2 of those players back there. And that's just a recipe for great frustration for opposing hitters. I mean, look at Mimi Collier. I mean, Mimi Collier comes in hitting 271 last night. She barely hits more than 100, and she has to take more than 50% of their swings. I mean, so she gets an inordinate amount of swings, which means they're completely imbalanced. They're just not doing what they want to do. And the same thing happened to Sarah Franklin a week ago. She hit well under her average, and it's all the back row players. But I think Olivia Mauk has reinforced, strengthened that bunch, and has really fortified the defense.
Great stuff there. Well, so luckily you got a sweep, so it wasn't too late of a night for you in Eugene. But what has the travel look like for this team? What's today look like? And then going into tomorrow with another late night one starting at 9:30 Central Time there. What does the last couple of days look like and game day for the Huskers?
Well, the Huskers had breakfast this morning at 9 o'clock at our hotel, and then at 10:15 we boarded a bus to the airport. And the airport in Eugene's about a 25-minute ride from downtown Eugene at most. Small airport, reminds me a little bit of Lincoln. And then we jumped on a chartered plane and flew up to Seattle. And the Huskers are going to practice later this afternoon. I should say by the time you play this, they will have practice, but they're going to practice this afternoon. And then do a walkthrough tomorrow morning. And then late night, 7:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Central time, first serve against Washington tomorrow night. And then, of course, we have a 1-hour pregame, longest pregame in college volleyball. So we go on the air at 8:30 local time. So hydrate tomorrow, afternoon nap, be ready to roll.
I noticed a couple of the players, they always try to find some coffee. Are you a big coffee drinker? Do you go out on the coffee ventures, JB?
Definitely not. I think coffee, publicly traded stocks are absolutely healthy enough with without my contributing $5.50 plus a tip for every time I want to consume a beverage, which when I was a kid was much less popular and also was much more affordable. It's just, if you want to see the power of marketing, Jessica, just look at the product of coffee. When I was a kid, the idea that young people would drink coffee was unthinkable. And now they've changed it. Of course, they've sweetened it and thrown all the stuff in it. But secondly, they've marketed the heck out of it. And now you've got teenagers bringing, I would call aquarium-sized coffees to classes or to athletic events. So it's pretty remarkable what that industry has done to change cultural habits in our country. And the Huskers, they love their coffee. And you know what? The way they're playing, they can guzzle all they want.
All right, but no coffee for John Baylor. All right, last thing I got for you. Just tell us now about this matchup as we close the door on Oregon. What does this look like with Washington? What do the Huskers need to do to come back with a couple of road wins from the West Coast?
Well, just to finish up on the whole coffee deal, I enjoy the taste, but I like to sleep. And if I have any coffee after 12 noon, game over. But Washington last night got a really nice win on the road over Minnesota. It was a really curious match because Washington in the match only hit 123. And then how did they win when the opponent, Minnesota, hit 248? That just doesn't happen. Well, here's the reason. 13 aces last night. Washington had 13 aces and only 2 errors. They've got, and they ran a one-setter offense. So for the year, they've often ran a two-setter offense. So last night they ran a one-setter offense. They are missing one of their top players. So we're not sure tonight if we're going to see one of their top outsides, and her name is Kirsten Barton. And Kirsten Barton had big numbers, when they took on Oregon in that match. They split 2 matches with Oregon. Both went 5. And then she didn't play against USC. That was a 4-set loss in part because Kirsten Barton wasn't there. And then last night they somehow win at Minnesota without Barton. So we'll see if she's healthy tonight. Without her, they're probably going to a little different lineup. With her, they're a lot stronger. She's a big outside hitter.
All right, great stuff, John Baylor. As always, we'll look forward to the call with you guys, starting with the longest and best pregame show in college volleyball, starting at 8:30 tomorrow night here on the Huskers Radio Network with Lauren Quest.
21.
Thanks, JB.
Consecutive wins. All right, thanks.
All right, we're back with more on Sports Nightly coming up after this.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. it means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles, or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare, groups, and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red!
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hello, Husker Nation. This is Lex Rodriguez, All-American Libero, serving you an ace on behalf of Noddle Companies based in Omaha, Nebraska. Noddle Companies is a full-service leader in commercial real estate, digging deep to create thriving communities like the Builders District, Exarban Village, and the contemporary row house townhomes. They bring world-class concepts in fashion, great eats, gorgeous homes, and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. To dig up more information, find them on Facebook and Instagram. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on our massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Here's what's on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Kind of what we just discussed in the last segment. Busy network weekend, even though we don't have football. 12:30 pregame coverage for the Husker women as they take on Southeastern Louisiana at PBA with a tip at 1 tomorrow. Then Husker men will take on Bethune-Cookman at 7. Kent and Jake will take the airwaves at 6 tomorrow night. Late night with JB and Lauren. 8:30 for pregame with a 9:30 first serve as they take on the Washington Huskies. That is what is on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. So no football, but plenty of things to go listen to, watch, see, and I think Husker fans have some nice distractions, Jess, this weekend, even though they don't have a game at Memorial Stadium to watch.
Listen, we talked to Amy Williams about it last night, and I know Coach Hoiberg also brought it up. Those are two programs that are very supportive of each other. No football, hey, no problem. You can spend all day inside Pinnacle Bank Arena watching two great basketball teams. You got a top 25 team, and with Nebraska women's basketball team, and then Coach Hoiberg's team is fun to watch too. So got some great basketball teams you can get out and support tomorrow. I've been told that the ticket sales are going really well for the men's game, that they're pretty close to a sellout potentially tomorrow night.
Wow. Fantastic. Good. Hey, folks, Woodhouse, they've been your trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We're back to name our winners and losers. We'll do that next.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
From family road trips in a spacious SUV to heavy-duty hauling in a powerful truck, Woodhouse has the vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Purchasing a vehicle has never been easier thanks to our streamlined buying process. Browse a huge selection of new or pre-owned vehicles from top brands. View transparent pricing so you can find the vehicle that fits in your budget. And complete your purchase online. Shop when you want, where you want. It's the Woodhouse difference. Get started today at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Is your phone system holding you back? We know how important smooth, reliable communication is for your success. Whether your team is working from the office or on the go, you need a phone system that keeps up with your busy day. At Hamilton, we offer business phone systems that adapt to your needs, making every call clear and every connection simple. Upgrade to a Hamilton business phone system where advanced features meet unmatched reliability. Are you ready to transform how you communicate? Better phones, better business. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
There's a new blood donation competition happening among Big Ten schools and a $1 million prize on the line. Nebraska currently atop the leaderboard. If you bleed Husker Red, donate blood and submit it for Nebraska at big10.org/Abbott before December the 7th. Final segment of the week. Jessica, Josh, let's jump in and name some winners and losers. Jess, lead us off.
Well, my loser, I guess, I don't know if it is a loser, but just there's a spat that happened between Erin Andrews and a local weatherman in Green Bay. Yeah. Apparently she was trying to report some of the weather conditions that might be coming to Green Bay, that there might be 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and then some meteorologists came after her on X, on Twitter, for Searles, for the big dog. And then she responded, said, hey, just saw the story about your tweet. Let me know the best way to touch base. Wanted to show you where Fox Security working the game, and I got our weather alert for the Packers game. But this meteorologist was kind of going after her, saying that she needs to stop giving weather reports, and it just kind of was not a good look. So that's my loser.
Nice. How about your winner?
My winner, Alexis Markowski. She's on the top of the record books for double-doubles, 41, unbelievable. Just already did it. Game number 1, going to continue to add to that, but that is not an easy feat to do. And so already breaking records in game number 1 on Monday night as she breaks the double-double record. Name already at the top of the record books for Husker women's basketball.
That's awesome. Hey, Josh, what do you have?
All right, I'm going to go to the NFL for my winner. I have Jamar Chase in here. Just an absolutely unbelievable night last night with 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Bengals lost last night, but they definitely deserved the win there. I'm going to go for my loser to college football, the USC Miller Moss situation. I don't want to really throw either one completely under the bus since I don't know the whole behind the scenes what's going on, but the whole thing is crazy to me. Something's going on because you enter the transfer portal just a couple days after being benched. Either something is off with him, like that he's just going to quit that easily, or USC did something weird and pushed him out the door. But either way, I don't really like it, but it's the kind of the day and age that we live in with that sort of thing happening.
Not a great look, that's for sure.
No.
It makes you uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yes.
It was on my list. That was one of my possibilities for losers. All right, my loser, I'm going the NFL referees last night. There was a play that there were 3 face masks. None of them got called in that play, and then they really botched the Bengals 2-point conversion. Poor reffing by the National Football League. They need to be better than that. And my winner, Jack McVay, the former Husker, made his NBA debut the other night, fired up a couple of shots for the Rockets, didn't score, but I think he'll get into the scoring book. But what a nice journey for Jack McVay to finally make an NBA appearance. So really happy for Jack McVay. Good stuff, everybody. Great show tonight. We're back full 2 hours coming your way on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend here on the HRN, so the control room will be hopping tomorrow with 3 different broadcasts going during the day tomorrow. Well, thanks to Josh for steering the ship tonight. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Life doesn't come with guarantees.
But working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Cyber threats are everywhere. When is the last time you stopped to think about how you're protecting your business from potential data breaches, phishing scams, or ransomware? It's time to make cybersecurity a priority for your business. At Hamilton, our unmatched expertise and cutting-edge technology goes beyond basic defense, providing proactive, tailored solutions that keep your data, network, and digital assets protected. Better protection, better cybersecurity with Hamilton. Visit our website at hamiltonisbusiness.com to learn more.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu